In 2023, a team of scientists hid speakers in the trees across Kruger National Park in South Africa. The speakers were wired to motion sensors. When an animal walked past, a lion, a leopard, an elephant, the rhino, the speaker would trigger. Sometimes it played the sound of another predator, sometimes gunshots, sometimes barking dogs, and sometimes it played the most ordinary sound on Earth, two people having a calm conversation. The results broke the experiment. The animals didn't just notice the human voices, they fled from them. Lions, adult, healthy hunting lions, the apex predator of an entire continent, abandoned their kills and ran, twice as often when they heard other lions. Elephants stampeded, leopards vanished into the brush within seconds, even rhinos backed away. The single most terrifying sound in the African wilderness, according to the wilderness itself, was not a roar. It was not a gunshot. It was the sound of a human being talking. The study was run by Liana Zanette and her team at Western University. It has been replicated across continents now. Banff, the Serengeti, the forests of Poland, the mountains of coastal California. Same result every time. The animals do not react to humans the way they react to other predators. They react like they are hearing something far worse. Because to them, you are. Most people picture themselves at the bottom of the food chain out in the wild, a soft, slow mammal with no claws, no fangs, no real fur. On paper, that is true, but the animals living in those landscapes do not see you that way. They see you the way a deer sees a wolf, except worse, much worse. Scientists have a term for what you are, the super predator. The phrase comes from a 2015 paper by Chris Darrimont and his team, who measured the rates at which different predators kill across the world. The number that came back was staggering. Humans kill adult prey animals at 14 times the rate of any other land predator on Earth, 14 times the rate of wolves, 14 times the rate of lions. We are not slightly above other predators on the chart. We are off the chart entirely, alone, in a category no other species has ever occupied. And every animal out there has noticed. For hundreds of thousands of years we hunted, with stone, with bronze, with iron, with gunpowder. We never stopped. We hunted the cave lion to extinction. We hunted the dire wolf to extinction. We hunted the European lion, the Atlas bear, the Caspian tiger, the Barbary lion, the giant short-faced bear, all gone. We pushed the grizzly out of every American state south of the 49th parallel. We hunted the wolves of Britain out of Britain entirely. Whatever predator your ancestors lived near, your ancestors almost certainly killed more of than the other way around. Animals do not read history, but they do not have to. Fear gets passed down. A mother leopard who survived a close call with a human teaches her cubs by example. A bear cub watching its mother flee a campsite carries that response for life. Generation after generation, the fear hardens into something deeper than fear. It becomes default behavior. The animal does not decide to be afraid of you, it is born afraid of you. And that fear is so powerful, it rearranges the natural world. When researchers played human voices in a single canyon in California, the smaller predators in that canyon, raccoons, skunks, opossums, spent 40% less time foraging that night. 40%! That meant more rodents survived, more seeds got eaten, more plants did not grow. The vegetation pattern of an entire valley shifted because a recording made the animals think a person was nearby. Just the suggestion of you reorganized the food web. But here is where the story gets strange. Some animals have figured out how to weaponize that fear. In the foothills of Wyoming, elk learn that grizzly bears avoid roads. So, during calving season, the elk drift toward the highways. They give birth within sight of passing traffic, because the bears are too afraid of the humans to come anywhere close. The elk are using us as a shield. Baboons in South Africa do the same thing. Monkeys in India. Urban deer in suburban America. We have become, accidentally, a kind of guardian to anything small enough to fit inside our wake of fear. And the wake is enormous. Every time you step into a forest, you are broadcasting your presence in a dozen ways your own senses can't pick up. Your scent reaches animals you will never see, half a mile in every direction. Your footfalls travel through the ground. The carbon dioxide you exhale lingers in the air for minutes after you have passed. To you, the woods feel still. To everything in them, you are a moving emergency. Birds change their alarm calls, squirrels stop foraging, deer go rigid in cover, mountain lions freeze and wait for you to leave. A bear 200 yards away may already be moving in the opposite direction by the time you crest the next hill, and you will never know it was there. The wilderness you walk through is quieter because you walk through it. There is a moment in the Kruger study that the researchers wrote about almost in disbelief. A pride of lions had just brought down a wildebeest. They hadn't eaten yet. The kill was still warm. The speaker triggered. 2 human voices, calmly chatting. Within seconds, every lion in the pride was up and running. They left the kill. They left their cubs unguarded for a moment. They sprinted into open ground, which lions almost never do, exposing themselves to anything that might be hunting them. Because to their nervous system, the calm sound of a human conversation was scarier than starvation, scarier than leaving their food behind, scarier than running blind across open savanna. That is what you are to the natural world. You do not need to be hunting. You do not need to be armed. You do not need to do anything except exist within earshot of something with fur or feathers. The most dangerous thing you carry into the wilderness is not a knife. It is not a rifle. It is the inherited memory inside every creature out there of what your species has done to theirs. So, the next time you walk into a forest and it feels suspiciously quiet, here's what is happening for truth. It is not empty. It is hiding. Every pair of eyes within a quarter mile is on you. Every animal big enough to die from you is already moving away from you. Every smaller animal that uses your shadow as cover is moving closer. The wilderness is reorganizing itself around your footsteps in real time. You walked in thinking you were small. The forest knows better.